Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Umagyantimirandasya Gyananzana Salakaya. Chakshurun militang yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Who does not understand German? Und wer versteht kein Englisch? Oh, 2-2. Aber, okay. We are reading in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and chapter 26 entitled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Text 51. Tatastinanu videbhyo. Tatastinanu videbhyo. Yukte byundam achetanam. Yukte byundam achetanam. Nochmal. Yukte byundam achetanam. Utitang purusho yasmat. Utitang purusho yasmat. Udatishtat asau virat. Udatishtat asau virat. Oh, sorry. If you look at the verses, at the Sanskrit, it's so nice. It rhymes. Different, special kind of rhyme. In the first line is this, it ends with ebyu. Second line starts with ebyu. Then the second line ends with anam, and third utitam. Then third line ends yasmad. Fourth line utishtat asau virat. Tatastinanu videbhyo. Yukte byundam achetanam. Utitang purusho yasman. Udatishtat asau virat. Uditang purusho yasman. Udatishtat asau virat. Tatastinanu videbhyo. Yukte byundam achetanam. Utitang Purusho Yasmat Udatishtada Sovirat Tatastinanu Videbhyo Yuktebyundam Achetanam Utitang Purusho Yasmat Udatishtada Sovirat. Mataji? Tatastinanu Videbhyo Yuktebhyo Yam Atichatam Uditang Purusho Yasmad Udatishtada Sauvirat Tatastinanu Videbhyo Yuktebhyondam Achetanam Uditang Purusho Yasmad Udatishtada Sauvirat Tatastinanu Videbhyo Yuktebhyondam Achetanam Uditang Purusho Yasmad Udatishtada Sauvirat Tata, then, Dena, by the Lord, Anuvedhepya. From these 7 principles, roused into activity, Yuktebhya, united, Andam, in egg, Achetanam, unintelligent, Utitam, arose, Purusha, cosmic being, Yasmad, from which Udatishtat appeared, Asau, that Virat, celebrated. Translation. From these 7 principles, roused into activity and united by the presence of the Lord, an unintelligent egg arose, from which appeared the celebrated cosmic being, purport. In sex life, the combination of matter from the parents, which involves emulsification and secretion, creates the situation whereby a soul is received within matter. And the combination of matter gradually develops into a complete body. The same principle exists in the universal creation. The ingredients were present, but only when the Lord entered into the material elements was matter actually agitated. That is the cause of creation. We can see this in our ordinary experience. Although we may have clay, water, and fire, the elements take the shape of a brick only when we labor to combine them. Without the living energy, there is no possibility that matter can take shape. Similarly, this material world does not develop unless agitated by the Supreme Lord as the Virat Purusha. Yasmadu Dishtat Asau Virat. By his agitation, space was created, and the universal form of the Lord also manifested therein. Tatastinanu vitipyo yuktipyondam achitanam nutitang purusho yasmat udatishtada sauvirat. From these 7 principles, roused into activity and united by the presence of the Lord, an unintelligent egg arose, from which appeared the celebrated cosmic being. Devahuti Maharaji asked the question to her son, how do I, please give me before you leave, please give me the knowledge which will liberate me from the attachment to matter, which will give me liberation, which will lift me up to the spiritual platform. And Kapila Dev, he is explaining this knowledge now. Now this chapter, fundamental principles of material nature, analyzing the material nature, explaining explaining these principles. The 7 principles, that means the 5 the 5 elements, the 5 gross elements, plus the pradhan and plus pradhan and another item. When these principles were combined by the presence of the Lord, the creation started to take shape. The pradhan was there, the most subtle form of material energy. Material energy is an eternal energy, one of the energies of the Lord. Internal energy, marginal, material energy. Those are the energies that Krishna can, work with, that Krishna uses sometimes. It's not always that there's material energy. When there are living entities in Krishna's association that think of becoming Krishna himself, how would it be if I would be Krishna? That would be nice. Sometimes somebody is there. No, Krishna is completely independent. He can do whatever and think whatever he wants to. And the living entities, we are Krishna's tiny parts and parcels, not about the size of the 10,000th part of the tip of a hair. Perhaps if you would part the tip of a hair into 100 parts and take one part and divide this into 100 parts again, one of these parts is the size of the soul. And this soul, as Krishna has complete independence, we spirit souls, we also have a minute part of independence, and we can use it. We can use our freedom of choice to serve Krishna as it's natural. It's natural to be happy, to feel love, and the association of a person who loves you very much and whom you love. But sometimes we misuse our freedom, and we hanker after false freedom. There was this freedom to just enjoy the senses and to fulfill the desires of all this, to fulfill all desires of the senses. There came up this philosophy of freedom, and people singing with guitar and Woodstock, freedom, freedom. In German also, Freiheit, Freiheit. People hanker after freedom, yes. Independence, and misusing the independence. Whatever comes into the mind, whatever the senses desire, you just do it. If it feels good, do it, was the motto of the of this youth revolution. If it feels good, do it, all right. And completely diving into material life, becoming crazy and detached from all the other people who are trying to behave decently, useless people, and just diving into it, following this desire to be free, misusing this tiny independence. And when several people like this, people who are misusing their independence in the spiritual world, in Krishna's association, then Krishna manifests the material energy, and this first manifestation is called pradhan. Prabhupada explains it's like a small cloud manifesting from the moisture in the air, a subtle state of the cloud, and it becomes thicker and thicker, and then there is a cloud. And this cloud of matter is called pradhan. And this pradhan, it contains all the living, all the ingredients of the creation. In subtle form, it's the subtle form of the material elements. And in this matter, and this subtle form of matter, Krishna manifests as Mahavishnu. By his desire, by his glance, he starts the creation. He puts like a cook. He has these elements there, the 5 material elements, and pradhan, and the rest of it as pradhan. And he gives this, by his glance, he gives the time element into it. Past, present, future, creating, maintaining, and destroying, falling apart again. Every atom has its certain time of being, maintaining, being present. After some time, every atom falls into decay, falls apart. Now Vishnu, he gives time into it, and the 3 gunas, the 3 modes of nature, they manifest and they interact, and from this, the elements, they manifest from subtle to gross. And then it is said, from when these principles are present, are manifested, from them roused into activity and united by the presence of the Lord, an unintelligent egg arose. And not just one egg. From the transcendental body of Mahavishnu, so many universes come out, are created. They come out from the pores of his transcendental body, from his breathing, like from our body. So many small particles of moisture as sweat. If you would hold a mirror above your skin, turn it around, you see there are lots of small particles of water. And from our breathing also, so many particles of water, magic show, are manifested, appear. And from our Vishnu, not just little water, but the universes appear from his skin, from his breathing. And into each of the universes, Krishna, he ich sag mal erweitern. Into each of these universes, Mahavishnu, he expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and he lets this lotus, golden lotus, sprout from his navel. He fills the universe half with water from his transcendental body. He's lying down, the lotus sprouts on top of the lotus. Brahma is manifested. Brahma gets the knowledge in his heart from Krishna, and he starts to create using the matter, the material elements which are present. He is using all of this to create all the elements, the whole cosmic creation. And in this way, when everything is set up, higher planetary system, middle, lower planetary systems, when all of this is set up, is present, by the desire of the Lord, everything is there, and this universal form, Krishna showed Arjuna his universal form. No? It's a, one might say it's a concept, an idea to see the topmost planetary systems as the head of this universal form. It's explained in Bhagavatam, the clouds, this is meant for impersonalists. You see the clouds as the hair on his head. You see the trees as the hair on his body. You see the rivers as the veins, as the arteries in his body. You see the mountains as the bones forming different, creating different forms underneath the skin, the covering of the earth and water. In this way, the middle planetary system is the body. The lower planetary systems are the feet of the Lord, the subtle being, the cosmic being. In this way, one might come to a personal understanding of the Lord. And some living entities who have fallen into this material world, by their considering themselves very topmost intelligent, extremely creative, they, by this state of mind, they develop this desire. Yes, there is this matter. Somehow it came into being. Communism, actually, dialectic materialism is the basis of this philosophy, of this materialistic philosophy. Dialectic materialism. It says that these elements, this creation, it was always there. It was not created. Marx said, religion is opiate for the people. To just think that God, to just accept that God created that God made this creation. That is like taking drugs, like being into narcose, like being in a narcotic state. No. We are more intelligent. We are materialists. We believe that matter is always there, and we will prove this by making the creation ourselves again, but much better. There are these imperfections. The body, it gets old, it gets diseased. But we, scientists, the intelligent class of human society, we will be able to create this, to take this creation and turn the bodies into eternal manifestations in a perfect state. More intelligent, putting some machine parts maybe into them. More intelligent, eternal. When I was small and went to school, I was sitting there, eating my breakfast, reading the newspaper. And there was one article. I found it interesting. It said, the scientists now they are on a new way, ingenious. They extracted something from a body of a rat, and they injected it into the body of another rat, which they had killed short time before. And they injected it, and they hoped, oh yeah, we will be able. And they injected it, and they hoped that, hello, they hoped that this rat would come to life again. Didn't work. Okay, let's take another rat. Kill it, gas or something. Take something from another rat. Inject it again. And in this way, they hoped that they would become celebrated, get Nobel Prize, many Nobel Prizes. Huh? For killing rats. And the Nobel Prize for killing rats goes to Dr. Professor Frog or something. Yes, this is so. I thought that sounds funny. That looks strange. When Mahavishnu Maharaj was here, I asked this question. Yes, the scientists, that now they have been able to perceive and to record the echo of the Big Bang. And they proved that there was a Big Bang by this echo. And boom! The creation took place. It's a great theory which is taught in schools to children, small children. The Big Bang? Yes, there was a Big Bang that exploded, and from this everything appeared from this Big Bang. Oh, really? Okay, write down Big Bang. And now they say, no, we have been able to prove it. We recorded the echo of the Big Bang. Actually, I didn't tell Maharaj. I told him later on. Sometime later, it was in the news, very small. They had to admit, well, actually, it was not the echo of the Big Bang. We recorded something, and it sounded like almost like the big echo of Big Bang, but actually it was not the Big Bang. It was just some atmospheric interference. Sorry. So it didn't wasn't there the echo, the proof. And this is the result of this misusing one's freedom, one's independence, false freedom. Yes, there was one book by George Orwell, 1984. Did someone read it? Yeah. Famous. There was even one song by a band called Spirit. 1984. Huh? Actually, no, it was in the 60s. It was Spirit. The singer had a bald head. Maybe they heard something from devotees.
They made a movie and the soundtrack was produced by the band Eurythmics.
Yeah, I know this Mataji of the Eurythmics. She even got married to one devotee. She was even here once. Showed up. Annie Lennox, yes, right. She was here once. Boy George also. He was here once. I saw him together with Sutra Swami. Looking at the deities, she was here. And 1984, that was a book about, it was written long time before 1984. 84 was the future. The 84. Thank you. Oh yeah. George Orwell, Ramananda Prabhu, he said, George Orwell wrote this book in 1948, and he just turned around the numbers. 1948, he turned it around to 1984, far distant future. And in this future, he wrote, the people are able to completely control the whole society. There are cameras and screens everywhere. No private life, everything is controlled, set up. The human beings are created in the laboratory, and they are supposed to become perfect human beings. And everybody has to fit into the system, and they're controlled by their cameras, screens. They controlled everybody. And one guy, I don't remember exactly, he kind of tried to break out of the system. He was not satisfied, and in this way it went on and on. 1984. Famous. That's a dream of materialist. The creation is there, but it's imperfect. So we are more intelligent than just this matter. We will be able to take this matter and turn it into a perfect creation, where everybody is always eternally happy, healthy, perfect looking, perfect acting, just by creating the human beings ourselves in the laboratory. That was there, and still is the desire. And Prabhupada said, well, if they are able to create life from matter, then they should prove it. And Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, when he was a student at that time, and he heard Prabhupada, he listened to Prabhupada, and he asked one of his professors. Prabhupada quoted this, very proud. He asked one of his professors, well, where there's the material energy, and we know, if you know, dear professor, if you know exactly how life came into being, then why aren't we able to create life? Wasserstoff and helium, one idea, was also a record. H2, why aren't you able to combine them to combine the elements that are forming, that are creating life. Why don't we do it? Why don't you do it, Professor? And he said, well, yeah, we're not yet able to do this. And Prabhupada said, that's not science. Science means there's an assumption. Then you make then you, in the laboratory, you are doing, how say? You do the experiment, and then you have the result. Ta-da! Life. Hansadutta Prabhu here also, we had one exchange of letters publicly in a newspaper. He wrote about the same thing. And he wrote this scientist who answered his inquiry. Well, if you are not able to prove your theory, if you are not able to create life, just an egg, why don't you create just an egg? A small egg from which a chicken arises. Well, in the future, we are not able to, not yet. Well, if you're not able to do this, to prove your theory, look at the chicken. The chicken is able to do this. That means that the chicken is more intelligent than you. And he completely defeated, devastated this poor, highly intelligent Professor Dr. Frog. Prabhupada did not accept it. He fought, he powerfully preached and proved in this book, Life Comes from Life. He proved, and he took care that this knowledge is spread in society. He proved that life comes from life. You cannot take matter. If they want to do it, they should do it. Otherwise, it's just a post-dated check. Somebody is working. So, at the end of the month, no, I worked. Sorry, there's no money yet on my bank account. My wage, I have to pay my rent and stuff. Yes, I will write you this check. Here, please. 4,000 euro for you. Oh, thank you. Sir, sorry. But the date you wrote 2058. It's post-dated. Yes, it's post-dated. 1958. In the future, there will be the money. In the future, you will get the money. And then sorry, I have to go working somewhere else. This is useless. Post-dated check. This promises we will be able to make a creation ourselves. The materialists, the atheistic materialists, the atheistic scientists. Prabhupada smashed them. Kick on their head with boots, Prabhupada said. Throw them out the window. He did not mean it literally, but by arguing, wörtlich, but by arguments we should be able to defeat this materialist and finish their arguments. So if you're not able to create, to do according to your promises, then this chicken is more intelligent than you. And there came no answer. No, the chicken made an egg. Did you make an egg? No. So? Kicking on the head with boots, finishing off the arguments of the materialists. And people, they see, these people, we thought they were some bald-headed nuts. We thought they were crazy, jumping around in their bed sheets. But they have a philosophy that's interesting, that proves that our present philosophy is false. What all the stuff that's taught in schools, almost all these fundamental things based on materialistic thoughts, it's all false. Yes, and right. Jesus was right. The Bible was right. God performed the creation. And on the first page of Bible it says, God created man after his own image. Gott schuf den Menschen nach seinem Ebenbild, zu seinem Ebenbild. God created man according to his own image. So, logical conclusion, if God created man according to his own image, that means we see man, we know man, and we know how God looks like, how God's form looks like. It's written there, and also in the Vedas. Everywhere it's written. Every great personality knows this, that God looks like us, not with funny hairdo but with similar clothes. Krishna is wearing a dhoti like molten gold. He said, Nisringadev's dhoti, it looks like molten gold, very shiny, transcendental. And his body, Krishna's body is, actually our body is formed like Krishna's body. He has his lotus feet, his legs, his belly, his torso, his arms, his lotus face, his beautiful hair, his crown, Krishna's appearance. Our body, our material body, resembles Krishna's. God created humans after his own image. The creation is difficult for us to understand it. Okay, God created man after his own image, and in 7 days the whole thing was done. And then he had to rest. Okay, not bad, it's nice. Better, something is better than nothing, Prabhupada writes. The concept of God, it's good, at least something. But in the Vedas, we have these complicated, highly refined explanations, descriptions, how the creation took place. Way above my head. But it is explained, we can understand the matter from very subtle, by the glance of the Lord. It took place, it was formed by the will of the Lord. It was formed into shape, egg-like. The universes are shaped like an egg. And in this way, the creation took place. The intelligence is satisfied by reading these explanations in the Vedic literature. It's superior to all other literature. In India, when the Britishers, as Prabhupada called them, were there, they perceived, hey, these funny aborigines here, they don't accept our philosophy. And some guys were there who knew Sanskrit. Yes, they have their own books and they describe everything very detailed. Looks like they appear to be superior to our literature, religious literature. And then they took some, it was a German, of course. They create this Indology. Max Müller is still there, Institute. Max Müller Institute is still there in Delhi. And they studied the Sanskrit literature and they translated it into English. And they tried to prove how everything is wrong. just look at this. They got it all wrong. It's completely false, people. Don't trust these Vedas. No. Accept the Bible and become good Christians and good materialists. Otherwise, you will not be able to live like we are doing. Indology. Okay, and then the road. Indra. I remember that one. Indra, he was some tribal chief, so ein eingeborenen Häuptling. He was the chief of some people living in the jungle, and he had his body. He had these scars of pox. The pox created scars on his body, holes on his skin, and because of that looks strange and ugly, and therefore the people, his people, they, oh, our dear chief, his body is covered with eyes, wonderful, beautiful eyes, sir, and yes, and he was riding on an elephant, which the others did not have. And this guy, the Vedas describe as Indra, the Lord of heaven. How ridiculous it is. There's no heaven, there's no Indra. It was just a tribal king, and his body was covered with scars, with holes, and it's not eyes. Nobody has eyes on his body. Believe it. They tried like this to destroy the faith of the people, knowing the Vedas, trying to destroy the faith. They knew it. If we are able to do this, destroy the people destroy the faith in religion, then people can be controlled. Then if they have no faith anymore, then we can control them. Then we can give them some knowledge that we are able to handle. Well, yeah, sidetracked. Sorry. In the Vedas, it's perfectly described how the creation took place, not just 7 days, but perfectly, in a perfect way. And every intelligent person will be satisfied by these descriptions. And you have the assumption, you have the Versuch, what was it? Scientific process. Experiment. You have the experiment, you have the assumption, you have the theory, the Vedas. You make the experiment, you start following it and start practicing it. Chant Hare Krishna, follow the way of human beings as described in the Vedas, principles, human principles. You follow this, make the experiment, and you get the result. You perceive, you see that you become happy by this, that your mind becomes free, that becomes enlightened. You are able to perceive that this body is not you, that you're living inside this body, that you are eternal, not this material body. You are able to perceive, to realize, to experience that you are a spiritual being, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. If we are advanced, will be able to perceive this. The first result of chanting Hare Krishna is that we perceive that we are not this body. We realize, we start perceiving, hey, here I am. I'm different from the body. I'm not this. This body will die. in a few years, maybe today, who knows? So I have to be serious, not depend on this body anymore. I have to realize who I am, practicing and experiment, and then the experience. We get the result. There's the proof. The proof of the pudding is in the taste. Sorry. And some pudding is better than nothing. If we are not completely Krishna conscious yet, if we are not pure devotees yet. But we realize that Krishna consciousness is right, that our life changed completely by the knowledge given by Srila Prabhupada, and that we are satisfied, and that this makes sense. And if everybody would live like this, everybody would become happy. Also the cows grazing on the meadows around us, they will not get killed. Everybody, the poor pigs, the farmers keep, and which parts you can buy in supermarkets. Horrible, the barbaric Bavarians. Horrible, horrible life, created by materialists. It's not that it doesn't matter what you're doing. It matters what you're doing, and in the Bible, Jesus said, the Bible says, as thou sowest, thou shalt reap. Wie man sät, wird man ernten. As whatever you put whatever you create, you will harvest. If you put some bad seeds in the ground, there are even bad seeds. If you put some bad seeds in the ground, some bad things will come up. If you put some good seeds, some good deeds, good result will be there. If you act nicely, you become happy. Without consuming, without having to buy something, we become happy. Just by being in the presence of Prabhupada, Prahlad Nrsingadev, and the association of devotees. We can't get this anywhere else. In other temples, okay. But association of devotees is unique, is so different. No? When I first came into a temple, they are so different. Srila Prabhupada, his qualities are reflected by everybody who is following him. So, okay. Thank you very much for your patience. Is there any questions? Sanjay Prabhu. He always has a question. He doesn't know anything. No. He was one of those people who got 100%, 100 points in Bhakti Shastri. Okay?
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, it's very insignificant. I think to pass a Bhakti Shastri test means to go back to Godhead. If I don't go back to Godhead, what is the use? My question is, how can one become so evil-minded as to purposefully destroy something good? Like you mentioned, they systematically destroy the understanding of the Vedas.
This is not difficult.
Why would one do it like that?
Well, Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita the demoniac person. I don't know so many all the course, but Ishvaroham aham bhugi. I am the controller and I am the enjoyer. And for this, I'm ready to kill my opponents, to kill my enemies, to kill everybody else, to get this enjoyment. And whatever it takes, I will do to make my life perfect. And if you are trying to disturb me, I will eradicate you. If you come up with your funny theories, I will take care that you and your philosophy are destroyed. So many attempts have been there in Russia that tried to forbid the Bhagavad Gita, but it didn't work. The law, the simple laws, was on the side of devotees. Consciously, like Hiranyakashipu, he was able, by his mystic power, he was able to completely change the laws of karma. And his law was, from when he started to be in charge, from then on, when you did something bad, you got a good result. Yes, I will do something bad, and became happy. And if you do something good, oh yes, dear Lord, I like to, then punish him. You got a bad result. Law of karma, he completely shifted it, turned it around. And demons, they are able because they don't have love and devotion. They have greed, anger, lust, and greed. And Krishna says, these lowest among human beings, they will be thrown again and again into the lowest species by me. Next lifetime, dog, cat, camel, ass, whatever. Going down in the circle of repeated birth and death, of samsara. Just bad by nature, naturally bad. And if you look around, the whole thing is controlled by these people. When I was selling my sweets, I went into a butcher shop because these people, they really needed standing the whole day in this shop filled with horrible filled with horrible stench, horrible odor, horrible smell. And I looked at it, and there was a bowl of, I told this, of Kälberherzen, of hearts, of small calves. This, they displayed it. Oh, yes, you can buy it. Oh, this is, nobody wonders about this. People go into the supermarket and everything is there, frozen or even fresh, and they can buy it. Yes, one kilo of this. I'd like to please my husband. Yeah, I need this, I need this to build muscles. Give me give me strength, yeah. When I was small, there was advertisement in newspapers. Fleisch, ein Stück Lebenskraft. Flesh, a part of vital force. Meat. Yeah, you kill the animal, you take the muscles, eat it, part of a part of vital force, one might call it, but it's just murdering. And how can you do this? Yeah, how can you do this? By following your senses. Following the senses dictating you. Doesn't matter, you want this, I want this, yes. Doesn't matter, who cares? Nobody cares. You can do anything. Freedom. People, demoniac principles. Prabhupada writes, the demons, they like to eat meat and drink alcohol. And that's the diet of modern man. Some, about 10% vegetarians are here in Germany. Some, well, I want to I want to live healthy and alternative. Okay, that's good. It's not prasadam still. But demoniac principles, look around all these nice meadows meant for cows who are milked every day and who are, after a few years, when they don't produce so much milk anymore, after a few years they are sent, they are sold. Farmer needs some money to buy a new car. They are sold to the slaughterhouse. Some farmers, they know the cows have names, and they know it. It's sad. My father was a farmer, and when he sold the cows, he was sad. But what can you do? You have to buy a car every few years. Need the money. Have to sell the cows. Let them be killed. Can't change it. That's the system. And some advisors come from the ministry, advising you how to practice your farming system, how to set up your farming system. Put some artificial manure so that you get more produce, sell it, grow it. That's the whole thing is created by demons. It's by demoniac principles. It is one book by Atma Tattva. I don't know what it was called, one devotee. No, actually, Prabhupada said, somebody asked, oh, Srila Prabhupada, are there more devotees like you? And Prabhupada said, oh, not many, but there are some pure devotees. And Prabhupada, and there are also some pure demons. And right now, the people who are demoniac are ruling society. In India, we have Narendra Modi. Namo, namo. Nama, namo. We hope that he will not have the fate of the Gandhis. Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi, he got assassinated, he got killed. Rajiv Gandhi, they're not related. Then there was Indira Gandhi, she got assassinated. Rajiv Gandhi, her son, he got assassinated. We hope that there will be a change, it will take place. And Prabhupada said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the countries who will be Krishna conscious, first India, then Russia, then Prussia. Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted. Prussia is poison. Yeah, in India we see there's this Narendra Modi coming from Gujarat, and he is introducing stop killing cows, a law. In some states they apply this. He wants that. That's not demoniac, that's nice. And we hope he will survive, that he does not get assassinated also. And these principles, the demonic principles, they can be changed. The society can be changed, and it will change. In India, there's so many states of so many heads of state, minister, presidents. They came into our temples. Modi, he was several times in ISKCON temples. He has another guru, but he likes the devotees. He appreciates. Society can change from demoniac to Krishna conscious. It can change. First, India. I don't know how many temples are there in Delhi now. Radha Pata Sarati, huh? 18 ISKCON temples in Delhi. alone. I was there once for some weeks. There was in Greater Kailash, M Block 119. There was the temple of Radhapada Sarati, and later on there's this huge temple now. 18 temples in Delhi. So many devotees, so many Vaishnavas all over India, becoming Krishna conscious. And Russia, now the gaga, completely crazy, demoniac, acting as proper demons act, killing animals, killing people. But they are. Russia comes. Prabhupada explains. It comes from Rishi. Formerly, so many sages, so many rishis, sages, saints, they went into this area and performed tapasya. Russia comes from Rishi. And today still, demoniac principles, materialism, official materialism, no God. But so many devotees are there, thousands of devotees. One devotee from Russia came here, and he said, I asked, where you come from? Yeah, okay. How many devotees? I didn't know. And how many devotees are there? Oh, about 1,000. Small place, I didn't hear about. 1,000 devotees. When you go to India, parikrama, there are two groups, I think. At my time, I was there many years. One group combined from different countries, and one group, the Russian devotees, just as many as the others. And then first India, then Russia, then Prussia. The time has yet to come. Prussia. Berlin was the capital of Prussia. Poland. My father came from Königsberg. Now it's Kaliningrad, a part of Poland. Huh? Well, part of Poland. It was Russia. It was Prussia before. Preußen. Now this is Poland, das weiß ich. No? Königsberg, it was called Königsberg at that time now. Now there is the Pregel, where my father was living. Preußen. Where they had a big farm there, but they had to, after they lost the war, he had to flee, come here to this part of Germany. Russia, Prussia. Poland. In Poland now there is Indra Swami with his Polish tour. They're traveling to the cities next to the Ostsee. I don't know what it's called in English. To this big sea, full of tourists, and they make fantastic programs every second day. The whole tour, the whole show is in a different city. And they make kirtan 3, 4, 5 hours every afternoon, distributing invitations, posters in the city, and then the people come and visit it, and they watch some fantastic show. Music, dance, theater. They had, what was it? An elephant that was as tall as the temple room, and they were able to move it somehow. A huge monkey also, that tall. Fantastic puppets, fantastic show. And at the end, Indra Swami came on stage, and he gave a nice talk and started a kirtan. And all these people who were there, they were warmed up, and everybody took part in it, chanting and dancing. It starts also here, Prussia. Takes some time, but the golden age, it started only 500 years ago. It will last about 10,000 years. We are still in Wild West, but it will come. Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted pure devotee, and Srila Prabhupada said it. Krishna consciousness will, how was Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness will take over the world by cultural conquest. The Vedic culture is superior. It makes people happy, not stupid, not unhappy. Like people in America, every second, 50% go to psychiatrists. Oh, dear psychiatrist, here's the money. I'm not happy. Oh yeah, just lie down. We will cure you. So first take some pills, Prozac. Yes, some more. Giving some advice. Yes, you have to follow your senses more intensely. That will make you happy. Yeah. The golden age is about to come, and we are able to perceive and to help to assist in it. Demonic system will fail. Okay. 9 Uhr. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavatam ki jai.